Hello, everyone, and welcome back to GV Talk Sports. I'm Brock Elsesser, and I'm here with
Jonathan Rizzo,
Mr. Horton,
Ryan McKnight,
and Mr. Dutt. Well, the big argument in here before we came on the air was about the big Knicks-Mavs trade. Pretty strong words were exchanged. So, gentlemen, you want to take off here? I think the question was who won the trade, right?
Yeah, definitely the Mavericks won the trade, okay? Because they got Kristaps Porzingis and Tim Hardaway Jr., and the Knicks received Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, and DeAndre Jordan. And now the Mavericks got Kristaps Porzingis. He's 23 years old, and he was like dominating last year before his injury, and I'm sure he's going to be back to that state like once his injury is like through with. And Tim Hardaway Jr. is 26 years old, and he's starting to like show like real signs of like a really good player. He was averaging 20 points per game this season.
So whereas
the Knicks, they received DeAndre Jordan. He's like nearing the end of his career. And they also got Wesley Matthews, who's 32 years old, and Dennis Smith Jr., who's going to be pretty decent someday.
But you're forgetting the fact that the Mavs gave up 2 first-rounders. It is not worth 2 first-rounders for Kristaps and Tim Hardaway.
It doesn't. Do you say it's not worth that?
It's not.
All right, well.
If you have to give up DeAndre Jordan and Dennis Smith and 2 first-rounders.
And pretty much like every NBA draft, like 20 of the first-round picks end up being either role players or just sort of like cut from the NBA.
Maybe.
So is it fair to say, legitimately, we have no idea who won this trade? It's a great conversation to have.
Who's open for those draft picks, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. What happens, if those draft picks turn into studs, I mean, say they get somebody like Zion Williamson, which they're not going to. But let's say they get a late first rounder who blossoms, right?
Yeah, but what's the chance in that? You can't just go and hope that you're going to get the best.
Well, sure, and I completely agree with you. But you also can't say that they're trash just because they're not the top of the draft, because there are some good players. I mean, where did Hardaway go in the draft? He didn't go top 10, and you're talking about how good a player he is.
Hardaway was top 10.
Did he go top 10? Whatever.
Yeah.
Dennis Smith, DeAndre Jordan, were those all top 10 picks? So the only ones. So we should stop the draft at 10. Nobody after 10 should get picked.
Or you can bring up examples of number 1 overall picks that turned out to be terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sam Bowie.
Yeah.
Who'd you say?
Markel Fultz.
Let's not talk about Markel Fultz.
Sam Bowie.
Kwame
Brown, Greg Oden. I mean, there's all sorts of picks, So my only thought is that you can't actually say yet who won that draft. Who won that?
I think the Knicks could have made a deal without having to get rid of Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah,
because they're giving them Kristaps Porzingis. You know what I mean? In return, they're getting DeAndre Jordan and Dennis Smith Jr. and a couple first rounders. You know what I mean?
Right.
But maybe it's because DeAndre Jordan's and Wesley Johnson are both in the last year of their contract.
All right, so not to interrupt, but I just actually Googled NBA busts of all time.
Oh, nice.
In the draft. The number 1 is Darko
Milicic.
Yeah,
Darko Milicic, Detroit Pistons, right?
Number 2 by the Pistons in 2003 over Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Not like Carmelo Anthony did much in his career anyway.
Well, I tell you what, Carmelo's probably.
Yeah.
He's up there on the scoring list.
True, but now Darko is retired. He's back in Serbia, and he has now switched to kickboxing. So,
well, there you go. Chess boxing. Who's number 2?
Greg Oden.
Greg Oden,
the number
Ohio
1
State
pick in 2007.
Yeah.
How's he not number 1?
I believe he was picked over Kevin Durant.
A lot of people were picked over Kevin.
He played a little bit for the Miami Heat, but now plays. He's in China, but he's not playing. He's had 5 knee surgeries.
Yeah.
Never really panned out for the
Jiu-Jitsu
Dragons.
Didn't he play in that summer league this summer?
Maybe.
Johnny Flynn.
Oh, Syracuse boy.
Yeah, he picked 6th overall in 2009. Johnny Flynn, wasn't he a friend of? Jake's. Yeah, he was picked over Steph Curry, by the way. So.
How many other people were picked over Steph Curry?
Yeah,
True.
Steph Curry went to Davidson. So.
Yeah.
Steph was 7th in the draft.
Hey, St. Bonaventure plays Davidson tonight.
Tonight, there you go.
Hey, and I like Johnny Flynn, so no offense to Johnny Flynn. but he's now playing in Italy. So I guess there you go. NBA draft picks.
You just never know.
Hey, we're back. We're back, right? We were off for 2 days. Sorry, because it was cold.
Yeah.
So cold. So cold. Games tonight? Anybody got any games tonight?
Boys varsity
Boys varsity plays Fillmore today.
Gotcha. Come on out. They're going to be some kind of halftime
It's like for cancer
stuff.
awareness.
Yeah, cancer awareness stuff. That's awesome. Chances against Fillmore tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah, they're not super,
No.
are they?
No.
Not like they have been in the past?
No, if we play okay, we should be fine.
Gotcha.
We've said that against other teams too, and not done it.
We've also
so.
played a
I'm
lot
not
of-
going to say we're going to win.
We've also
but-
played a lot of games where, as a team, we didn't really play okay.
Yeah,
So-
and we've also played a lot of games where we don't play at all in the first half. Like we may as well not have even played, and then the second half we come out and we come back. Like on Monday.
When I hear you guys talk about your games, most of the time it seems like you don't play to your potential. Do you think that's true, or what would you guys do to
Or maybe we
make
just
that
see our
happen?
potential is higher than it really is. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like we could be playing better this
I
season.
think we could too, but
For
What do you
sure.
think's holding you guys back?
There's a lot of things really. Like sometimes there'll be like some disagreements between players.
almost every game.
Yeah, sometimes we'll.
Are we talking about the NBA now, or are we talking about TV?
What do you think a coach's role is to figure that out on a team, or do you think that's up to players more?
Pass.
Pass.
I think he's choosing not to answer that question.
I think it's up to both. Like, coaches.
You know your coach is listening right now. I just want to tell you.
Coach is doing a.
He's listening.
He's doing a good job at like trying to keep the team like together and stuff.
Right.
But
There
it's
you go.
like, sometimes arguments happen and disagreements happen, and we just got to work through them as a team.
Right.
New trivia question, super easy to answer. Only player in the history of Major League Baseball to be a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mariano Rivera.
Mariano Rivera. First one ever.
Derek Jeter probably will be too.
I don't think
What's a
so.
special
Don't think
player,
so.
though?
I don't think Jeter will. I think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I don't think he'll go unanimous.
If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, then the Hall of Fame's not credible anymore. I think. Player's that good.
I mean, he's going to be a full first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's only going to get 97 to 98% of the vote because there'll be somebody who didn't like the way he played defense and said he was only good because he played in New York.
Maybe.
True.
I think he was good despite the fact he had to play in New York.
Yeah.
I think
I mean, that's-
there's people that go to New York and crumble
Yeah.
because of the pressure of playing in New York City, playing for George
Any
Steinbrenner.
big franchise like that.
Yeah.
All right.
They play great in the smaller markets, and then they go to the big time. Oh, Jacoby Ellsbury's a good choice.
Yeah. Well, Boston's a pretty big franchise.
They
too,
are
though.
they are a big market, but he
So I
lost the facial hair, and that was the end of him.
Yeah, he fell off pretty hard.
He did.
At least we used him up. Well,
Yeah, there you go. That must have been it.
So I thought about this when we were visiting down south. Spring training. Right around the
Pitchers
corner.
and catchers report pretty soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know the
Probably this week.
where I was on the west coast there, just south of Sarasota, huge complex, Atlanta Braves.
Oh,
Put
right.
in a huge brand new spring training down there is a big deal.
Yeah,
You do get a lot. I don't know if anybody's ever been to spring training.
I've never
Yeah.
been there.
Yeah, I have.
We,
You
we
really
went
get
to
closer to the
Boston's.
players, and they're way looser. And
Yeah, my brother was down there. My brother-in-law was down there last week or the week before, and he went to the Tiger spring training
oh, no kidding.
facility because he grew up as a Tigers fan. He
Tigers
grew up in
fan.
Michigan, and so last time I saw him, he had a Tiger spring training shirt on, and he said, you can only get these
At
at spring training. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
I was talking to a guy that grew up near where he did, who has now retired, and said I could be a greeter at Walmart, or I could come sell tickets and merchandise down here for the Tigers.
Yeah,
Wasn't even
not a choice.
Wasn't even a choice.
Hey, welcome on Kennedy.
Hi, Kennedy.
Kennedy was predisposed. We got Chelsea over on the, which we could
She's behind the glass, right?
behind the glass today. Chelsea's behind the glass today, engineering for us. But hopefully she'll come around with, at least for final thoughts, and chirp in her final thoughts for us. Oh yeah. So be thinking. Girls games. Girls are on what, a 6-7 game winning streak?
6.
6.
Yeah, doing some good things.
That's good, right?
Headed to Ra-Cha-Cha tomorrow.
I forgot about that.
To play Our Lady of
Rochester-
Victory, Rochester Academy.
Rochester Academy. I have no idea. They've won a few games, and so it'll be interesting to see how we match up with them.
It says to be determined. So do you know where you're going to play?
We're playing at Bishop Kearney at 2 o'clock. At Bishop Kearney High School
okay.
against Rochester Academy. 2 o'clock. And I just found out our game from Wednesday got rescheduled for Tuesday. So we go to Whitesville on Tuesday, home against Fillmore on Wednesday. So next week will be interesting.
Oh boy.
But
Home stretch.
yeah, but 5 games left. Right now we're sitting at number 2, I think. And
I think, yeah, that's what you said last time.
yeah, either 2 or 3. I can check real quick.
Where are the boys? Do we know?
6 or something.
6th?
Yeah, we're at
Not
number
very
2, and
good.
I'll tell you about the boys.
I'll
Give me
check.
10 seconds.
3, 2. Hey, are we going
Go ahead, count it. I'm good.
Are we gonna talk about the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Number 6. Number 6, but you got JT, Sayo, Fillmore ahead of you, which I think you guys are probably better than. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Well, you played
Fillmore's ahead of
Fillmore's
us?
ahead of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Wow.
a joke. Wow.
Wow, that is such a harsh
Well,
statement.
we've played them already, and they're just not. What seed are they?
They're number 3 because they have 10 wins. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
you don't
it
make
makes
that
sense,
up.
but-
It's not a ranking. You know,
Yeah.
it's not where
They
people
win
say, let's
games
vote
they're
as to who's
supposed
better.
That's it.
If
This is
you
not a
win
coach.
games, you go ahead.
This is not a coach's poll.
It is not a coach's poll.
Wish it was a coach's poll.
Hey, I see Oklahoma coach, football coach.
Yeah, Lincoln there.
Yeah,
Lincoln
that-
Riley.
Signed on for a new $6 million contract.
And we don't pay the players.
I
Oh
just
wait,
thought
did
I'd
I mention
throw it
that
out
before?
there.
Yes.
What does Nick Saban make? Probably $10 million a year.
Oh, I don't even want to think about how much
Aw.
it makes.
A lot. Yep.
To coach
Anyways.
college football. Interesting. I just.
Well,
So, who do you think will win the Super Bowl, and who do you want to win?
The Patriots.
Is that a will and a want,
Yeah.
or just a will?
A will
Yeah,
and
I'll
a
say
want.
will and a want.
Okay.
I'm also going to say Patriots for both.
I think I am too. I just don't think the Rams deserve to be there.
Yeah.
There's
I
just a
agree.
slight part that doesn't want the Patriots to win because that would be the 6th one, and it'll tie with the Steelers.
Yeah.
But
So I got a kick out of
Does
Roger.
anyone want the Patriots to win? I mean,
yeah.
Well, like,
I will
three
never
people
in
just
my
said
life
that.
ever cheer for the Patriots. So I think they got a better chance than the Rams, but
Right.
there's no way I would ever cheer for them.
no.
And in fact, I don't even know if I'll watch because the Rams shouldn't be there and I hate the Patriots. So
True. I mean,
There you go.
Super
I think-
Bowl is Super Bowl is just for the snacks and the commercials.
I think it'd be more interesting if it was the Saints and the Patriots, which is what it should have been. But
well,
Well, because you've got two classic quarterbacks,
Yeah.
right?
I mean-
Two future Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
They
going
had an
each other.
opportunity to change it, and they didn't.
So interestingly, we'll go back to who we want, but Roger Goodell. Did anybody see him being interviewed about the call? And he was
No.
like fumbling through it, and
Yeah.
it was like watching this awkward teenager try to explain why he was late coming
But
home
that's
from
how
a
he
date
is
or
for
something.
everything.
That-
but,
yeah,
but how would you?
exactly.
How do you? What does he say? What do we want him to say? What do we want him to say? We screwed up and the wrong team's in the Super Bowl, or I mean, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it we want Roger Goodell to do right now
Right.
about that?
And
Yeah, just be straightforward. It makes him look even more shady, kind of trying to
And, like-
say the right things and just go through it like that. I
like
think
people
he'd
were
have
trying
more
to make,
respect, you
they were
know?
trying to make excuses from him. Well, he's not good in front of a crowd, dude. He makes $33 million a year. Okay,
Right.
He
Figure it
should be
out.
good in front
you
of the
should be
crowd.
good. You should be
Yeah.
good in naked in front of a crowd. Okay, not naked.
That might be
That
one
might
step
Be like
over the top.
66
Yeah,
million.
That might be
You
over-
can do that.
might be over the top.
but yeah, I mean,
I think
heard
I
one-
wanted. I think I wanted him to say, "Listen, it was a horrible call, but it's part of the game. It's not reviewable. We can look at it. If Drew Brees hadn't thrown an interception in overtime,
But he can't say that.
he can't say that. But I mean,
Right.
there's a lot of things that affect a game.
right. I mean, the Saints had the ball in overtime.
It wasn't the only call, but it was the last one that
Right.
you remember, right?
Right. Well, and are we even having this energize the conversation about the Super Bowl if the Saints blow out the Rams and the Patriots blow out the Chiefs. No, it's the human part of it makes it interesting. I heard one guy argue that we should get rid of replays completely and just go with the human element.
Which is valid, I guess.
Yeah.
It does kind of change the game a lot.
Sure,
I
sure.
just kind of think of it like, you know, how like professional sports are like entertainment sports.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're not gonna like they're gonna make it a big deal
Right,
for entertainment value.
right. Are the
You're
people
right.
from
It
New
is
Orleans
entertainment, isn't it? We
not
forget
going to
that it
watch?
is entertainment. So do they have replays in MMA? I don't think so.
No. No, probably not.
They have replays in rugby? I don't think so. Let's start
Australian rules football? I think they do.
Yeah, let's start.
Bowling?
Do
I've
they
seen
have
replays in bowling.
Do they have replays in cricket?
Probably.
Probably.
I'm sure they have replays
Probably.
for it all.
They have replays for most everything, I think.
So what
Like
about
the
replay?
highlights or
Do
something.
you like replay? Do you
I
like
do.
the
Personally.
change of call because we saw it differently in slow motion,
If
going
you have- if-
frame by frame by frame? That just a tiny bit of the ball touched the ground, incomplete.
Well, even like with the replay, like the tiny bit of the ball, the two people could see it totally different. Like, yeah, that's not in, or yeah, that is, even with the replay. So I mean, it really is. It all comes down to like the human.
The human element.
Yep.
Well,
Well, I mean, if you have a replay, it's obviously like totally makes it much easier to find the call. And
Right.
like we saw in the Saints and Rams games where they weren't able to see the no call, which was like clear and obvious. If there was a replay, then we would most likely have two different teams in the Super Bowl.
you
And
know,
now-
yeah.
but-
Two
and
different
now-
teams? I don't think we'd have two different teams.
Yeah,
The-
but, like
The
like
Patriots would
like
still be there
two
because
te-
the
two
Chiefs
teams
just
that are
choked.
Still playing each other, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, with the Saints, right? But do you go back and replay every call, like the missed face mask call on Goff earlier in the game? Do you-
I feel like it should only be like in like the fourth quarter, like near like the end of the fourth quarter or like during halftime.
That's,
Mm,
you can't
yeah,
just
you
make up
can't
a
do
crazy
that.
rule like that. It's
Well, that's how it is in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean you can't just make up a rule like that? Because you don't want to like waste time in the entire game by like calling like changing like a simple play in like the halfway through the first quarter. But if it's towards the end of the game and say they're within like 6 points or something like that, it should be reviewable because that can totally change the tide of the game.
But you've never seen a coach
Situations.
argue that one play cost them the game,
Right.
right? Even Peyton, Sean Payton, after the game was over, what was his statement? There are plenty of times for us to win that football game, not just that one play. So why do we take just the last 2 minutes? I mean, I get that too. The NBA does that with the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They can review just about anything,
Yeah.
right? So just interesting.
No
I-
matter what, it's gonna whoever team you want to win, you're obviously gonna have that opinion that it should have went that way or this way. But I think the replays can at least give you a little more rest on your mind, just knowing instead of having that what if factor. You know,
Oh, sure.
Like, even if the call doesn't go your way, at least you know, like, all right, yeah, that's how it is. But I don't know. With that, everyone is saying what if, and that's
sure.
the hard part, I think,
Sure,
especially
sure,
for
sure.
the fans and who wanted them to be there.
To me, and I talked about with Mr. Horton, we talked about this after the game. I think it sometimes does come down to the ref, like, and you guys have seen this before, where the ref doesn't want to make the call that's going to decide the game,
Oh.
right? You know what I'm saying? Well, you've heard that. Well, that's not a call you're going to get in the fourth quarter. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. But the ref doesn't. Well, to me, it was the difference between the guy from the referee in Kansas City who says, was it Dodge or what's his the guy that was offsides?
I can't
I can't remember his name, but
yeah, I
he was
know.
clearly offsides.
Right.
But that referee had enough guts to say, okay, there's less than 2 minutes left in the game, but I don't care he's offsides.
Yeah, you have to.
Whereas
You
I
should.
feel like the two guys that watched Nikel Roby-Coleman blow up Kamara were just thinking it's near the end of the game. I can't make that call.
That's a no call.
Right, that's a no call. What in that phrase, that good no call? I don't even know what that means. It's a good no call. If there's a foul, there's a foul. If something happened,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you see that in soccer, right? We talk about it with soccer, right?
But what if
gets
they did that in basketball? What if there was like a foul with like 5 seconds left and they said that was a no call?
Happened to us the other.
I know. I've seen. And sometimes
Josh
like things.
put up a buzzer beater 3 to try and tie the game, send it to overtime. He got like pushed on the ground while he was shooting it, and they just waved
Right.
it off.
Right. Well, have you seen the chaos that happens under the basket sometimes? Late at the game, late in the game?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Our game over in Hinsdale, I think we fouled that
There
poor
was,
girl like
yeah,
18 times.
Yeah.
And it worked
crazy.
out for us that, the ref wasn't going to blow the whistle, but
Right.
still.
Yeah.
She should have been
at
on the free throw
least-
line.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, I don't know. Just interesting.
It is. So I haven't given my Patriots take
What
yet.
do you think?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I don't know. I think I think the Patriots stand a pretty good shot, and I'm hoping that they win, not because I'm a Patriot rooter, but only because that may be reason enough for Tom Brady to retire. Finally
already
get out of the
He held up
AFC.
a 0 and said there is 0% chance he's retiring after
Yeah,
this year.
he's not retiring.
Do you think?
He's not retiring.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope they get hammered then. I hope you lose.
And New England's the perfect villain, right? They win because there's an offsides penalty. They win because we've already talked about Deflategate and how it got blown up. But there's always something, and you always feel like there's this thought that they really might have cheated.
Right.
You don't know for sure, but just this, the fact that the headphones on the visitor's side always break in New England late in the season. Just
Oh, it's that
weird.
little bit of doubt.
But then they're good enough to always win.
Yeah.
And so they become that perfect, we can't stand them.
Everyone wants to make out a villain too, no
Sure.
matter what.
Sure. How much fun is it to root for both sides?
Yeah, it's not.
Well,
It's not at all.
And I mean, you've got the Seahawks who have beast mode on the 1 yard line.
Second and dumb.
Second, yeah, and it's like he basically could have just fallen into the end zone,
And
right?
carried most of the Patriots
Russell
defense.
With
Wilson
him.
could have fallen into the end zone.
And you choose this path. I mean, come on, you got to be kidding me.
They could have brought in Michael Bennett and had him stuff it up the middle.
They
Richard
could have come
Sherman could have
and
done
gotten
that.
Brock Elsesser, and they could have scored.
Yeah.
I
And
think
he was
so.
he was
Yeah.
what, 13 at the time?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you talk about. I mean, we forget about like maybe dumbest calls of all time.
Oh, second and dumb. That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah. Oh.
I think they should have fired Pete Carroll after that, honestly. It made a call that bad, cost you a Super Bowl, fire your coach.
Marshawn
But you
Lynch.
got to the
just-
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't think Marshawn Lynch ever got over it, did he?
No.
I don't think he ever got over it.
No, I don't. That might be the dumbest call of all time. I can't think of a worse one right now, other than leaving Pedro Martinez in was it 2003? Might have been 2003. Leaving Pedro in there and watching Jeter smack one down the right field line for a triple to tie it up and lead to Aaron Boone's home run. But I mean, I didn't want to bring up bad memories for you.
Right, and then the next year being up and then choking.
Up 3 games
away,
and then
yeah.
choking, yeah. Well, no, but the thing about Pedro
Yeah.
Martinez was everybody knew that he couldn't go more than 95 pitches. And he was at 98,
also
99,
upside
and they
with
left him in there to face Jeter. Seriously?
Not smart.
Go till 28. How many minutes are we?
But
got
sometimes
8
that
minutes left.
happens, right? Where athletes say, no, I'm good, I can do
Yeah.
this.
I know. Then at that point, as a coach, you kind of got to sacrifice a little bit of bond to,
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation, though.
It is when you want to make a decision and the athlete's saying, no, I got this, I can do this.
Coach, I could do it.
Put me in, coach.
Yep.
I'm ready to play today.
Well, that's the same old. They don't. The assistant coaches and the players don't usually get interviewed about bad calls. It's always the head coach.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's always the head coach. We have a swimming meet coming up. Randomly out of nowhere, I thought we don't ever mention swimming. So
Yeah, they. I don't think they're going to swim tonight though, because the pool is still.
100 degrees or something.
It's actually down to 85, so it's making progress. I might actually swim in it right now
I
because
know.
that's a good temperature for me. But I know
feel
they
like
like
it's
it to what
super freezing
73
when
or
it's
something,
in there.
74.
So we
They want it
had
cold.
No
we
thanks.
were we vying for the record of the world's largest hot tub? Is that where we were going?
I tell you, I was all in. I'm thinking.
I know.
Put a few jets in there and it's
Put some
good to go.
jets. Put a TV up there on the one side. We'd be good to go.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
All right. So perfect Super Bowl. Perfect Super Bowl. Describe what do you do for the Super Bowl?
Are you talking perfect Super Bowl party
like,
kind of
yeah,
thing?
what do you?
Super Bowl party. Okay.
What do you have, 4 minutes?
Way
So,
to go.
So
oh,
where do
maybe
you
we
start
should
this?
start final thoughts then. Final Super
4
Bowl
minutes.
final thoughts. We got 4 minutes.
Oh, final thoughts. After UConn's women's loss against the Cardinals,
Oh, Louisville beat them last night.
yes,
Oh.
it was like six.
Kidding, that was pretty
78
big.
to
I didn't see that.
69. 78 to 69. I think that they're gonna be their confidence is a little low, and they might lose to Cincinnati tomorrow.
Wow. That is a.
That's
Is
my
that their
final
second loss of the season?
I think so. It's the first time the Cardinals have beat them in 26 years.
26 years.
Yep.
Wow.
That's
Is
my
it kind
final
of sad,
thought.
those changing of the guards? Like when the teams that have been like super, super good you start to see the armor chip away a little bit?
Well, that's what my dad said. He goes, yeah, they might have lost because I said that they lost before this game. He's like, they might have lost, but they've had like 113 winning streak. So their franchise, I mean, it's not going to go down just because they lost 2
Right.
games. But
That was the juniors' first 2 losses in regulation
yep.
since they showed up on campus 3 years ago.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Anybody else final thoughts?
It's
Yeah. The Patriots win the Super Bowl on a last-second field goal by Gostkowski, and he wins MVP of the Super Bowl, not of the season. And he becomes known as the second most clutch kicker of all time behind Vinatieri.
There will be a 3-way trade between the New Orleans Pelicans, the Chicago Bulls, and the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis will go to the Lakers, Lonzo Ball and Ivica Zubac will go to the Bulls, and Zach LaVine will go to the Pelicans.
That's a lot.
Wow.
I think the
That's a lot
Pelicans
of
are
money
Pretty
right
impressive.
there.
I
the
like that.
Pelicans would be insane to give up Davis for Levine. Okay, never mind. Okay,
But Davis
I
doesn't
did
want-
con-
he doesn't even want to be there anymore.
He
does
doesn't.
Might
Right.
give up somebody else.
Didn't he
too.
like go in the locker room like for the whole fourth quarter last night? I was
don't
seeing
know.
something like they sent him to the locker
They're
room.
probably
That's
just
fine.
trying
How
to
much
save
time,
his trade
Charles?
value too.
Yeah,
1
they're just
minute?
not playing
You
I
can
right
feel
sit for a
like
year.
that's a lot of
Patriots lose the Super Bowl. Gronk retires.
All right. Okay. Johnny Manziel comes back in the fourth quarter.
Johnny Manziel.
All right,
That's
I got,
awesome.
I
That's
got
really
2.
funny.
St. Bonaventure upsets Davidson tonight for the win at home, and the Patriots win the Super Bowl on Tom Brady driving late in the fourth quarter to win the game.
And I cry if that happens. There you go. But I do think Gronk's retiring. I think he's done.
I think he's
I would agree with that. Gronk's done.
All right. Who wants to take us home?
Thanks for watching and tuning in to GV Talk Sports. I'm Brock Elsesser here with
Mr. Dutt.
Ryan McKnight.
Mr. Horton.
Jonathan Rizzo.
Ken Norris Hepburn.
Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody.